Hey, what is up everybody? It's Damron. We're playing Far Cry 2. We're on part 15 of my Far Cry 2 complete collectible and achievement guide. We're getting everything in the game so you don't miss many of the missable achievements in this game, as well as the abundance of collectibles that are in Far Cry 2. So now we're in North Bowa Seko, again the north portion of the southern section in Far Cry 2. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our first diamond briefcase. So you can see I'm on the west side of the map. I'm kind of north of the main road that we took to kind of get into this section if you've been following my guide, and you can see it's kind of a path that leads up into the rock face. There's actually kind of this indentation on the map, and I'm all the way on the north side of that, so you'll have to walk up that path and eventually you'll find a straw hut at the end of the path, in which is our next diamond briefcase. From that briefcase, we're going to head east quite a ways, so you can see we're at our next safe house, which is kind of north of the river down here. So we're going to go ahead and travel all the way over there, obviously kill all the enemies to unlock these safe houses. And as I've mentioned in the prior guides, just a rule of thumb, every time we get to a safe house within this guide, go ahead and drop a save, because if you were to get a collectible and then you come back and die, you would actually have to reload from your last save and re-get that collectible. So we're saving every time we get to these, so just keep that in mind as we're moving forward. So from that safe house, now we're going to head southwest a little bit, so you can take the main road down to the southwest corner, and you can see I'm kind of west of the main road, kind of near this small body of water that's up next to the rock. So here it is. If you kind of look, you should see this body of water, and on the back side is a large rock. What you want to do is go behind that rock, and on the ground you'll find your next diamond briefcase. From that diamond briefcase, now we're going to head east. Okay, we're going to cross back over the river now that we were kind of on the left side, but you can see we're south of the safe house, again across the river, kind of on the middle southern section of the map, and we're kind of along the main road. You can see it kind of splits in two. We're taking the road that's heading into the rock face, so go ahead and stay down there. So here's the main road that we kind of took to come up right here. So we took this path up, and there's going to be several little shelters up here. There's going to be a bunch of enemies that you're going to have to take out. But up here and to the left of this hang glider, just slide down the cliff edge and you're going to find your next golden AK-47. Now these are really good through our collectible guide because we're traveling a lot of distance, and this has more reliability, so it's not going to jam as much. Although there's no achievement for these, it's really good to kind of pick these up as we've been going. So once we have that golden AK, we're going to get our next diamond briefcase, which is northeast of where we were. So you can see we're kind of right in the middle of this grassy area, kind of right in the middle between the road and the left and the right of us, kind of in the southern section down here. So go ahead and head into the middle, and what you're looking for is this kind of tall dead tree. It's pretty noticeable, but one that's more noticeable in case you're having trouble finding it is one of these trees right here, which we always remember those from prior collectibles. But essentially what we're looking for is this dead one, and right at the foot of that dead tree is our next diamond briefcase. From that diamond briefcase, go ahead and head northeast to our next guard post. The guard posts, again, aren't tied to any achievement, but these are really great to get as we're going around, so it shows you kind of what supplies are there, but also these are great points of reference for a lot of the collectibles that we've been getting. So that's the 45th one. We're getting there. We are getting there. So from that guard post, we're going to head south, and we're going to be just north of Sadiko. So you can see we're just north of the rock that's on the northern side of Sadiko, south of the cell tower. So if you go here and actually look, you'll see up on a platform like a little wooden shelter. That's actually where the diamond briefcase, but you can't get up there. In fact, if you walk up there, you'll see a ladder is knocked down. In order to get there, we need to go up to where the cell tower location is, so north of us. So you can see we're at the cell tower location, which we'll cover later, but just next to that is a hang glider. So from the cell tower, we can take a hang glider to that platform, which is what I'm aiming to now. So it's quite a distance away, and one of the things that I want to say is before you get in the hang glider, be sure you kind of clear out the area, the ground that's below us here, if there's any enemies there, as well as any enemies or trucks that might be on that road, because all it takes is one shot to knock you down, and then you're either gonna have to reload your save, or you're gonna have to kind of travel far away and come back to get the hang glider to spawn. But nonetheless, if you just fly across that gap when you land, our diamond briefcase will be sitting right here on top of a weapon crate. From that diamond briefcase, now we're going to head into Seko itself. Okay, so we're actually going inside this small little clay hut village, and inside here, this does have its own zoomed in map. So go ahead and zoom in, and you can see we're kind of on the eastern side in the middle of this little town, and it's kind of on an elevated, but what you're looking for is this small building that has this outside stairwell leading to the roof. Okay, so go where I was on the map, and you should be able to find this building pretty easily. It stands out, but take the wooden stairways to this, to the roof, and you'll actually find some boards that's above a hole in the roof. So go ahead and chop those up with your machete, drop in that hole, and grab your next diamond briefcase off the sleep sack. So still in Seko, we're going to get our final buddy in the game, our 11th buddy, and for ease sake, I'm going to go exactly where I was when I showed you the stairwell outside of the building we just got our diamond briefcase on. So from that, if you just turn around, you'll see another building with a closed door. Open that door and you can climb a ladder to get to the second floor, and on the second floor, you will find a locked door, and when you open that, we will get our 11th and final buddy in the game. So you'll hear him talking. You can also save it up here if you feel like you want to go ahead and drop a save. But anyway, once you open this door, talk to our final buddy, and we're going to get the achievement for rescuing all the buddies in Far Cry 2.
The guards are dead, aren't they? I don't know.
All right, so once we're done there, now we're going to head north of Seko. You can see we're kind of all the way on the east side of the map, like kind of in the middle, all the way east. And we're on the south side of this rock here. And if you go to where I am on the map, there's actually an entrance that will lead into this rock formation, kind of in the direction that I'm looking right now. So here I am at the south side of this rock. You can see this little kind of pathway leading into the rock, which will eventually lead into a cave. And on side of a weapon crate is our next diamond briefcase. After we've grabbed that diamond briefcase, now we're going to head west, okay? And we're going to go all the way basically to the very middle of the map. We're almost dead center. You can see we're kind of in this grassy area right in the central portion of the level, kind of north of that river. And what you're looking for is this dead tree here, right here. Again, it's right in the middle. You really can't miss it. Next to that tree is a burned out car with another diamond briefcase right next to the passenger side. So we're going to go west from that diamond briefcase. We're going to go ahead and get our next guard post, which is just kind of east of Dogon Village. So go ahead and head there, and on their way, this is a nice health guard post, so you may need some syringes. Feel free to re-up on that. But once we've finished, kind of unlocking that, head into Dogon Village itself. There's going to be a bunch of enemies to kill in here. I've already taken them out. Dogon Village also has a zoomed in portion of the map, so you can kind of zoom in and see where I'm at a little bit closer, because there's a lot of buildings, and you can kind of see I'm in the northwestern corner of Dogon Village itself, and there's kind of multiple levels to this little village, but you kind of go right where I am, okay? And if you go, what you're looking for is this kind of, straw platform right here. It's kind of just a shelter. It's not a building, but you're going to be able to jump to that from the ledge behind it. And once you're here, now we can use this to jump on some of the roofs of these clay buildings, eventually leading to a roof that has our next diamond briefcase sitting on the ledge here. So still sort of in Dogon Village, but we're kind of leaving, okay? So we're actually in the northwestern section of Dogon Village, all the way in the northwest, and you're gonna have to kind of climb up some terrain to get here. But exiting from Dogon Village in the northwestern direction, there's a small path that will lead to a stone stairway that's kind of exiting from the village itself. And as you go up there, you will see a path that splits to the left and to the right. The first thing that we're gonna do is head to the right and just go all the way to the end of this pathway, which is gonna lead you to kind of a broken clay hut. You can go in that. There'll be some bones and our next diamond briefcase. So still in the same area, again in the northwestern portion of Dogon Village, we took that same pathway, but where we split off to the right, this time split off to the left. So just walk back from the diamond briefcase and now take that left direction, and if it's eventually going to lead you up to this hang glider that's overlooking a valley, which is a really nice ride. So feel free to take that in just in a little bit as we exit this area. But before you do that, continue to the left of the hang glider, and there'll be a small path that leads down to a bunch of clay, busted busted up buildings, and they're kind of on this kind of cliff edge here. Go to the back of this area and you'll find your next Jackal Tape in the final building. And keep in mind, these will be repeating themselves in the southern section, but don't worry, we are getting progress. Even though if you look in your menu it'll say 10, but don't worry about it. So once we've collected that, take that hang glider down if you want to, but head all the way to the northwestern section of the map so you can see we're northwest of the safe house that's up here, just kind of up in the desert, right, you know, kind of in the middle of nowhere. But if you go up here, there's a small body of water as well as a small building with a buggy next to it. Inside that building on the ground is our next diamond briefcase. After you've collected that diamond briefcase, obviously we're going to collect our next safe house, which is just southeast of that. So go down there, clear out the enemies, drop a save as always, and then we're going to get moving on. And from that safe house, continue southeast, and there's a small little village down here that you can see that's kind of in the northern central portion of the map. It's not labeled, it doesn't have a zoomed in map, but it's a small little village. And if you're coming from that, you know, direction, you know, from the northwest, you can get on this rock here and it's going to overlook the village. That the diamond briefcase actually in the roof of this building right here, so you need to jump from that rock to that straw platform into the roof of the building to collect our next diamond briefcase. Once we've collected that, now we're going to continue east into the outpost. So the outpost does have a bunch of enemies here, so, you know, be ready for that. But it also has a zoomed in version, so you can see I'm essentially on the road west of the actual outpost itself. So, you know, you can't really miss this one. It's right on the main road next to a tree inside a trunk of a car for our next diamond briefcase. Progressing on from the outpost, we're going to continue east, and you can see we're just basically at the end of the river. So go all the way to the where, you know, the river ends. That's kind of south of the safe house up here in the northeastern corner of the map. So if you go here, what you're looking for at the end of the river where it's starting to become land, on the left hand side you should see a wooden canoe. Right beside that canoe is some bones and our next diamond briefcase. From that diamond briefcase, now we're going to head northwest a little bit. So you can see I'm all the way at the northern edge of the map, kind of north of the road there, kind of in the sand area. So that's the main road, and I'm north of that. And what you're looking for is this small billboard says bring water, and there's a dead guy here with some water. But right beside that guy is our next diamond briefcase. From that diamond briefcase, now head all the way east to literally the most northeastern portion of this section, and you can see we're all the way up there, and we're behind this rock, kind of opposite side of the safe house in this area. And behind that rock, you're looking for a car that's kind of halfway buried in the sand, next to which is our next diamond briefcase. Obviously, once we've collected that, we're going to head to the other side of that rock to our next safe house. So go ahead and clear that out. As always, drop a save, and that's actually going to be the last thing that we have to collect in this region. So that's going to wrap it up for North Bowa Seko. We've gotten everything that we needed to get in this region. So now we're going to head east. We're going to go along this main road that's kind of just south of the safe house we just saved at. Head east, and we're going to go into northeast Bowa Seko for part 16. We've only got 3 more parts to go, so hope you guys are enjoying this guide. It's been a blast putting it together, but hopefully I'll see you in the next video.